good Monday evening to you. It is another edition of Weather for Weather Geeks, as we are now into the spring season. Officially, spring began in the Northern Hemisphere on Sunday, around midday. I think it was about 11:30 or so. And on this first full day of spring, we had a very nice day today, but not as warm as 10 years ago. I've been talking a lot about 2012 in the last few weeks because this is the 10-year anniversary of that ridiculously warm March of 2012. And speaking of ridiculous, we broke the record high on today's date 10 years ago by 10 degrees. The previous record was 70 for today's date. We cleared it by 10 with a high of 80 on this date 10 years ago. Again, it wasn't quite that warm today, but still, today was a winner. 64 this afternoon, a full 15 degrees warmer than the average. 36 was the low this morning, that also above the average by about 7 degrees. Much like last week, we have a decent evening upcoming for a pretty decent space station flyby. This starts at 8:22 p.m. It's visible for 6 minutes, appearing in the west sky, disappearing in the northeast sky at 8:28. This reaches a maximum height of 34 degrees above the horizon. 90 degrees will be right overhead, so it's not super high or anything, but it is going to be visible out there, thanks to a relative lack of cloud cover here locally. All right, no lack of cloud cover off to our south and west. Big-time severe weather outbreak ongoing with several tornado warnings as of this recording in parts of central Texas. Tornado watches up, severe thunderstorm watches are up, and this system will produce a pretty decent swath of severe weather coming east. Now, tomorrow is going to be another pretty big-ticket severe weather day across the lower Mississippi Valley. Places such as Jackson, Mississippi, New Orleans, Louisiana, Slidell, Louisiana. Moderate risk, 4 on a 1 to 5 scale. In this zone right here. So tomorrow is going to be another big ticket day. The severe weather risk will lower considerably as this system comes east and weakens some, but that being said, as it stands right now, the Storm Prediction Center does have a low-end risk, a 1 on a 1 to 5 scale, for severe weather, in a good chunk of Ohio, mostly to the south and west of our TV viewing area, but I guess I'm not going to be surprised if when this becomes the day 2 severe weather risk overnight tonight when they update this product at like 1 or 2 in the morning. If a slight risk is introduced, a level higher, 2 on a 1 to 5 scale, somewhere maybe in central and southeast Ohio, I guess I wouldn't be surprised if the low end 1 on a 1 to 5 scale risk is pushed a little bit farther to the north and east. We'll talk a little bit more about Wednesday's activity coming up here momentarily. Now, Tuesday is going to be a cloudier day. And while the sky may look threatening at times, I think a lot of this is going to struggle to reach the ground. Might have some virga at times, precipitation evaporating before it reaches the ground. But that being said, grab the umbrella just in case. A passing shower, a sprinkle or two, that's going to be a possibility. The clouds will not stop the temperature from rising pretty nicely again. Now, it's not going to be in the mid-60s like today. But could we make a run at 60 before tomorrow is through? Absolutely. Still way above the average. Now, on Wednesday, our system approaches. A pretty good chance of wet weather at the start of the day on Wednesday. As we get into the afternoon, though, and this low becomes what we call occluded. It's way back here, and the warm front is way over here. Here's our occlusion right here. This is the actual cold front down here. When we're kind of in this zone, kind of between the warm front and the cold front, late in the afternoon and early in the evening on Wednesday, this is when wind shear will be maximized across the area. What I mean by that is the difference in the wind direction with height through the atmosphere. Down here at the surface, we'll have kind of a south to southeast wind, but upstairs a few thousand feet, screaming southwest winds. That's a lot of wind shear. And so while the atmosphere will not be tremendously unstable Wednesday, with this kind of wind shear, we have to pay attention to this. So some low-topped, they don't get super high in the sky, but some low-topped gusty showers, maybe some thunder, including the possibility, outside possibility, I think, but a non-zero possibility that a couple of these stronger cells might try to rotate a little bit late Wednesday afternoon into early Wednesday evening, and then we're just in a lot of clouds for a chunk of the day Thursday. The sun's going to try to come out, I think, on Thursday, especially in western PA. By midday and afternoon. So I mentioned the wind shear on Wednesday. The instability is lacking. The atmosphere will not be super unstable. Air parcels will not be able to rise super quickly, and these showers and potential storms that get going will rise real high in the sky. This is real modest instability, but this is what we call in meteorological parlance low CAPE, convective available potential energy, or instability, high shear kind of a setup. So you have low instability but high amounts of shear, and those setups can be kind of tricky. It's, again, something we'll have to watch out for. I think the highest risk overall will be to our south and west, closer to, say, New Philly, Zanesville, Cambridge, Mount Vernon, Columbus, places like that. But around here, I'm not going to be able to rule out some finicky, mischievous, low-topped showers and potential thunderstorms late in the afternoon, early in the evening on Wednesday. We'll talk more about this, of course, on Tuesday's Weather for Weather Geeks. Now, we stay above the average through Thursday, but then the bottom falls out, and boy, I'm not going to make many friends on this last weekend of March. 37 Sunday. I think there'll be some snow flurries around, snow showers, rain showers here and there, gusty breeze. Just not going to be very nice outside this weekend. In addition to today being the first full day of the spring season, yesterday and today, the beginnings of Severe Weather Awareness Week in the state of Ohio. Pennsylvania has their Severe Weather Awareness Week later in April. But in Ohio, this is the week in which we, talk about all aspects of severe weather, including some safety reminders. And this evening, I wanted to touch on tornado warnings and what to do and what not to do if you find yourself in a tornado warning as we head into peak severe weather season later this spring into the summer season. If you do find yourself under a tornado warning, no matter what building you're in, whether it be your workplace, your home, if you're out shopping, whatever you're doing, find the lowest floor of that building and an interior room. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. If we have tornado warnings in our television viewing area, you know we're going to be doing live coverage on not only television, but our apps, our social media as well. This is a big one that I want to emphasize. Some people just don't pay much attention to the weather. They don't have a lot of weather apps downloaded. They only pay attention to the forecast, maybe if it's going to snow. They're kind of checked out. And you may have friends or family like that. If you're watching this video, chances are you're a little more checked into weather than the average person. But if you have friends or relatives who maybe aren't paying attention, but they're in the tornado warning, yeah, shoot them a text or a call. Give them a heads up that they need to take action in that kind of circumstance. And of course, we want you to remain sheltered until we give the all clear. What we don't want you to do is base any decisions on whether you do or do not hear an outdoor tornado siren. We're going to talk about sirens more this week, no doubt about it. But that's one of my pet peeves. Is in 2022, there's many better ways of getting warnings than outdated, unreliable outdoor tornado sirens. We don't want you to go outside for visual confirmation either. What a lot of people do is, hey, tornado warning, let's go outside and try to get a picture or a video. Most of the threatening weather, including, of course, tornadoes around here, are not real visually stunning events. A lot of times they're rain-wrapped. Sometimes it's dark outside. We don't live in Oklahoma where it's a flat horizon and you can see forever. And so it's not worth your time and putting yourself in danger to go outside and try to get a picture. One of the myths, of course, crack the window to relieve the pressure in your home. You don't need to do that. All you're doing is letting the wind in. And if you are out on the highway in a tornado warning, we don't want you to seek shelter under an overpass, because that is a situation in which the wind can actually get stronger as it's funneled into that space below the bridge or overpass. So that's not a safe place to be. We're going to talk about more tornado myths, severe weather safety reminders throughout the week on Weather for Weather Geeks, on our social media as well, and on WFMJ.com/weather. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. I'll see you back here on Tuesday.